AI, automation and behavioural science are transforming marketing. Today we examine the emergence of autonomous campaigns and their impact on customer engagement and performance. Joining me today is Bosco Anthony, Global Marketing Futurist, who is here to help us unpack it all. How rapidly has AI and robotics advanced since we last spoke? I feel like there's been a few things.
Just a few. Thanks for having me here again, Mike. We're at the intersection where messaging, marketing, and machines are colliding. So from the last time I was here, we have seen such an advancement in the era of conversational AI. I've just heard a robot that has cloned my voice and sounds exactly like me. We have robots today that are using different accents, are speaking in different languages. The companies that I work with offer 24/7 support for call centers and any type of service area where robotics has really come into play. And if you look at this from a business perspective, you have staff that work 8 hours, but they don't work weekends or public holidays, and that's where robotics really has come into play. It's not to really replace people, it's there to empower them and really reinvent the arena that they're in. So conversational AI is a big topic right now, and you're also going to hear the word Agentic AI.
Every day for the last few weeks.
That's right, and Agentic AI is another really cool feature that I'm seeing right now, where you're going to see sophisticated conversations on platforms, social platforms, websites, and these robots are trained to understand the rules of how to do business, how to communicate with consumers, understand what the pain points are, but also know when to triage that to a human being. So we're working with companies today where they go shut down on a Friday and they come back on a Monday, and the robot has had quite a bit of conversations and passing it back to the humans again. So we are building a race of superhumans with the power of leveraging robotics.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible stuff. And having made use of it before, I was telling you about a personal film project of mine. I actually used it to assist me, in the export process in relation to getting it on cinema, and it was working with me, and it sort of knows me now. It's like, hey, Mike, I know you go through a lot of these things, and here's how we do it, and breaking it down. And it is as spooky as it is amazing and exciting. You're obviously a futurist. This is exciting stuff. But where are we seeing the biggest impact in the area of conversational AI?
Conversational AI is being impacted everywhere. We're seeing it on the front lines of marketing. We're seeing it in everyday business operations. We're seeing it in various industries. We work in the tourism, retail, as well as the education sector. We're bringing this into market. Behavioral science is playing a really big part of impacting how consumers behave online. We have code today that you can put on a website that can understand a user or consumer behavior and prompt a specific message to that user in real time.
Personalisation.
Personalisation. We are in the era of personalisation, and so we have tools today and partners today that work applying behavioral science and a nudging system where you don't need to redesign a website, you don't need to change the infrastructure of your website. All you do is apply code and you feed 800, 500 different variants of nudging systems based on time spent, eyeballs, eye impressions, and it feeds that era of personalization. So we've taken the Netflix model, just similar to when you're watching Netflix, there's an algorithm that serves you other shows that you may like. We're seeing that now in the consumer behavior part of things.
Which makes sense to me. It's kind of like a Pachinko machine, that bounces down the thing off the nails, and depending on where it needs to go and where it lands, or the user, I suppose. But what exciting innovative projects are you currently working on that you did want to highlight today? I know you mentioned a few sectors there.
Yeah, look, I'm seeing a lot right now, obviously, in the space, but I'm really excited because I work at GRG, I work with at Quant Plus as well, and we've built an entire AI innovation suite, front, back end, everything right now. So we have AI impacting strategy, AI impacting how we market, and then the user experience at the end as well. So it's an end-to-end suite. What I've noticed is that our platforms are predicting an outcome. Now, I want you to think about this. Back in the day, marketing was something that we hoped for an outcome.
Throw it and see what sticks.
See what sticks. Well, they call it gambling too. It's not marketing anymore. Sophisticated marketing is when you can predict the outcome before you do that. And Quant Plus is doing that right now. We have taken the behavior of understanding what to put in a creative advertisement. We've put it into a platform. We are speaking to the robots, we're uploading creatives, and the robots can now scorecard those creatives before we even start advertising. So from a cost efficiency perspective, you can get all that intelligence at your fingertips before you even invest in marketing, before you invest in creatives as well. So it's a really opportune time for us as humans because we're leveraging sophisticated data and we're at the forefront of it.
Yeah, it's certainly amazing, as I said. It's as scary as it is interesting. But for those people out there who were sort of on the fence and going, hey, it's going to replace me, or my creative, things are being, I get a lot of discourse out there on both sides of this coin. How do we tell those people or explain it to somebody who does not get it in a way that's like, this is exciting, what am I supposed to do if I don't need to build the website or if it builds itself? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look, it's not a popular quote that might not be favored by many, but AI doesn't want your job. AI wants your excuses and inefficiencies. That's what AI wants today. And I'll be the first person to tell you this, is that we're seeing inefficiencies being exposed every single day.
Oh, yeah.
And so are we really battling innovation, or are we battling fear? That's a big part here, because when you start to normalize innovation, you start to normalize fear, and you start to embrace curiosity, that's when you start to see a shift in how things start to work. Think about the Netflix era. We used to rent DVDs back in the day. We used the typewriters. I thought the Jetsons era was cool. I watched the Jetsons when I was younger, and now we have the Apple Watch.
Pretty much most of it,
can speak
and
into
almost flying cars. I've seen
That's
a few
right,
examples.
flying cars. They're trying to find parking spots for flying cars.
Would you try again?
There we go. She's here with us now.
There you go. They're listening. So the point I'm trying to make is that, we really have to overcome the fear, and marketing in general isn't being replaced, it's being reinvented.
Yeah, and I feel like there is some sort of ceiling that we're going to breach through, we're going to be able to look through and beyond, and eventually understand what is new, the new horizon of all of this stuff. But what trends are consumers expecting to see in the marketing space, just to round out our discussion for today?
Yeah, look, other than personalization, I think we're also going to see intelligent and sophisticated audience targeting. So I'm working with a group right now that can access consumer mobility, consumer spend behaviors, and Visa transaction data and other types of data as well. And we can find the nearest billboard to target those consumers based on their movement, their spend, their RFID tracking. So, these are things that are going to change how we look at marketing as well. And don't even get me started on facial recognition softwares that will start coming in through billboards as well. And digital advertising is going to get a lot more sophisticated. So, at GRG, we work with 70% of the universities in Australia, and we work now globally as well with campuses around the world. And we're seeing the era of marketing really changing. So we have a choice as humans, and it's a choice that we don't have a lot of time to make because the robots are already here.
This is what it feels like most of the time. There is a time limit on these things. If you're not on the AI train as a business, you're actually falling behind already, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, the word that I have for our audience today is that the robots have arrived, they're here. They are smart. They don't need a master. They still need a mother or a teacher from my last interview with you, but they're also not waiting for us. That's the key part here and the key message. And I'm excited to be at the forefront as a futurist where I'm one of those superhumans that is leveraging that AI. So for those who are skeptical or fearful, I wouldn't be worried too much about the AI or the robots. I would be worried about the humans using and leveraging that technology.
Absolutely, and perhaps it's time to look in the mirror and reflect on where you want to be, who you want to be in relation to this brand new world in many ways.
Yeah, we're seeing an evolution of the human race, and we as humans have to now keep up.
Yeah, certainly interesting stuff. You've given me way too much to reflect on, Bosco. Thank you so much for joining me in the studio today.
Thank you for having me, Mike.